So the Pacers were caught off guard when Myles Turner signed with the Bucks. Let's talk about it. On his memory here at Rocker Park. His theme. Somebody needs a basket. We're gonna see. We're gonna see when the ball go post. Snacks. Tell me yesterday. HBC.
Man, once again, man, I appreciate you having me, man, and congrats, man, on the platform. And I say, keep it going, keep doing your thing.
So Pacers president of basketball operations Kevin Pritchard spoke to the press, and he, pretty much laid everything out. He talked about how he was surprised when Myles Turner signed with the Bucks. Let's take a listen.
I don't want to get into the specifics of Myles, because the truth is he gave 10 great years here. I loved having him be here. I hope I'm friends with him for a long time. I know this, that Herb Simon and Stephen Rails and the Simon family were fully prepared to go deep into the tax to keep him. And we really wanted to do that. And we were negotiating in good faith. But what happens in this league is sometimes you're negotiating, but because a guy is unrestricted, he has the right to say, that's the offer I want, I'm going to take it, and that's best for my family. And again, we were in good faith negotiations. It was a little surprising that, how Milwaukee created that. I don't know if, we always say in our conference room, there's cap teams that have cap space, and there's shadow teams that have cap space. You can go get, but it becomes very challenging by buying out or making trades, and hat tip to Milwaukee to do that. So I think the most important thing is we were deep in conversations with Myles, and then we saw that he'd accepted an offer with Milwaukee. And again, that's part of this business that is challenging. I can tell you this also, that there are two kind of things that I believe that is kind of fundamental to the league right now, and that is change is inevitable and expect the unexpected. And I can't tell you that, we were fully expected for that.
So there you have it. And when it came to Myles Turner signing with the Bucks, I think most of, NBA fans, Bucks fans, Pacers fans, I don't think they expected it, right? When you think of Myles Turner, I believe he was the longest tenured Pacer on that championship team. I think he's been there for 10 years, right? So it's a guy that, fans are familiar with. He's familiar with that's all he knows. He's only played for them for his entire career. So I think many people, caught off guard, and then him going to the Bucks, which, many Pacers, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Pacers and Bucks have a rivalry going on. So that was another, I guess you could say a detail, or not detail, but something that came into play that people just didn't expect. But as you heard Kevin Pritchard say, he emphasized that, the Pacers were, willing to, dig deep in the pockets, go into the luxury tax. I believe that's what he said. And, pay Myles Turner. They operated in good faith. And when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, so that means a couple of things may have transpired. Either one, Myles Turner didn't want to go back to the Pacers. He just didn't want to go back. He wanted a change of scenery. Maybe he viewed the Bucks playing with Giannis as a better fit, a better chance for him to compete for a championship. So that's one thing. He maybe just wanted to change the scenery, and he just wanted to change teams, go to a team that gives him the best opportunity to win a ring. The second part is maybe, it was some miscommunication on, his side, and the teams, his representation, or the teams, because if the case was that Myles Turner was willing to go back to the Pacers, and the Pacers were willing to pay him, then what could have been the holdup? Like, even if you have other teams in your ear, maybe it was just miscommunication, or another thing, the Bucks just swooped in with an offer that right then and there. There was no fluff. They weren't beating around the bush, and they just swooped in and snagged Myles Turner right before the Pacers' eye. So I think those are a couple of other scenarios that may have went down. But when you look at the Bucks, like Kevin Pritchard said, um, they were basically a team that nobody expected to make really any big moves this off season. You had Dame Lillard go down with that ruptured Achilles in the first round versus the Pacers, and then they just didn't have any. Didn't seem like they had any trade assets to move people, but you saw they signed Myles Turner. It was a wave and stretch with Dame Lillard, right? And then they Brook Lopez, he went to the Clippers. So bringing in someone who has similar play style, but 8-7 years younger, um, that complements Giannis makes sense. So I think that was a good signing for the Bucks. But yeah, like Pritchard said, nobody really expected them. But in this business, you say you have to expect the unexpected. Now, when they're looking at the Pacers for the next year, I think you can chalk up this upcoming year. Of course, Holly is going to be out, and then you'll see what they can do the following season. So those are my thoughts in the comments. Let me know yours.